Peace. Hey there, beautiful souls. I am Torian Alexia. Thank you for coming back to join me. I appreciate it. Alright, here we get my little jig on. I felt like I was cute today. Today's been a good day. Just finished my first table read for the film that I was kind of telling y'all about in the first video. It went good. My son went with me. Catch a little clip of it right here.
Let's see. Well,
Still trying to figure out exactly what my role in this space is. So we're gonna play around and we're gonna play around with the different things and see what sticks, see what catches on. But I did have a slight little message, and I do want to correct what I said in the first video. It's not even about me becoming comfortable being obedient. It's about me getting comfortable being uncomfortable being obedient, because it's not going to always feel comfortable. The thing that you are supposed to do usually does not feel the most comfortable. It's usually going to stretch you a little bit. It's usually going to take you out of your comfort zone. And I say all the time, like, you got to live outside of your comfort zone. Like, outside of your comfort zone is growth. So this is definitely outside of my comfort zone. Being on a camera, talking to my phone, it's different, but I like to talk, and so yeah, we're gonna rock it on out. But suffering is another topic that has been like in my head lately. The topic of suffering and like why things that we consider as negative happen to us. As children, we learn, especially like, so I was brought up in a church, and you think that if you do good, good comes back to you. If you having tough times, then that means that like you've put something out there, to where you are getting these tough times. You've put, some type of negativity out there. You've sinned in some way, and now you are reaping the harvest of that sin. But it's no way that everybody constantly has a battle that we're fighting, or everyone constantly has something that we're trying to tackle, if that's the correlation between struggle and what we put into it. I feel like suffering is a part of the journey, and when I say suffering, I don't mean hard times. We ain't got nothing but a piece of bread in the house. I just mean anything that we see as like resistance, or anything we see as like a trial. Because I will always wonder, like, God, okay, I know they say that, God gives his toughest battles to his hardest, God gives his hardest battles to his toughest soldiers. I get it, God. I'm strong. I feel like I'm strong. Why do I keep having battle after battle? Can I rest from battle? Can I go on sabbatical, honey? Because I want to go AWOL. I love it. But the suffering is a part of the process. The suffering is where we learn the lessons, y'all. The suffering is where we figure out how we not gonna get in that position again. And that's a choice. I talk about choices all the time, but it's a choice to be able to not choose to suffer the same way a bunch of times. Because we've all been faced with things where it's like, all right, I see this as a test, and I make it through the test, and I end up facing the test again, whether it's with different people, whether it's in a different situation, but we see that test again. More than likely, that means that it was something that we didn't get from it the first time. I talked in my last video about like doing something different to get something different. And suffering, as we continue to suffer in the same ways, we have to get to that moment where we can be like, all right, I'm going to do something a little different this time and see how the outcome plays out. Because, if we do it the same way, if I fight this battle the same way, I'm going to get the same outcome I got last time. I will say that, so I just finished this book called Falling Upward by Richard Rohr. And it so eloquently titled it as Necessary Suffering. And I believe in that. I believe that suffering is necessary for our journey. I believe that the obstacles that we face are constantly chiseling us. I believe that we start as this pile of clay, and as we fight these different battles, we get chiseled a little more. It builds our character, and it kind of gives us a little more definition. The way that we figure out how to face different situations, it chisels us a little more until we literally are closer to that masterpiece that God knew that we would be when he first created us. So don't fight the suffering so hard. Find ways to make it through, because guess what? Everybody has something that they're going through. Everybody has something that's going on in their life. Find a way to cope, because the definition of life, honestly, is figuring out how to navigate different situations. We're never going to get to a place where there is not something to be handled or something to be dealt with. But it's not always time to handle it and always time to deal with it. Find time to rest, in your suffering. Find time to have grace with yourself in your suffering. Find time to understand what you are contributing to the world around you in your suffering. If you find yourself in a place where you just feel like you're down, you're low, you're going through a situation that you just can't figure out how to make it through, be cognizant of how you're treating the people in your life during that time. Make sure that you're not making everyone around you suffer for loving you. Don't let your presence be the suffering just because you have something going on in your life that is causing you to suffer. It's really easy to take out the things going on in our life on the people that's closest to us, because we feel like those people, they're going to stick around. But everybody has a breaking point, and everybody should at some point in their life establish boundaries. And once you cross those boundaries, people are allowed to,
as you see, I was trying to find a nice way to say it, but they're allowed to cut you off.
Draw the line. You've crossed my boundary, and so just make sure that at all times, that you are either shining your light or finding a way to replace your light. Don't be the one that comes into the group knowing that you already are down and brings everybody down with you. Because there are people, I'm like this. I'm the type of person, or I used to be the type of person that likes to match people energy. Sometimes I will feel bad for being in a good mood. If I'm around people who are in a mood that's not so good, if I come with my good news, I feel like, you're going to feel like, dang, you just come over here and burst my bubble. It's always got to be about you, da-da-da-da. But I don't match energy anymore. If I see that your vibrations are too low right now to be able to accept what I'm bringing, I will try to shine my light on you. I will try to, incorporate some light and just remind you of what there is to be grateful for. That's my main thing. I'm going to always remind you what there is to be grateful for. But now I don't feel like I have to completely sulk with you. I understand, and I can protect my energy, and I can, separate myself and let you know that I love you and that I'm there. But I know for my sanity that if I go low with you, it's going to take me a little time to come back up, because that's how I am. I'm either up high, super rambunctious, or I'm sulking. So I like to, try to be uplifting myself. If I ever feel a moment where I feel like, I'm slipping as far as just my spirit, I gotta read something. I gotta listen to some music that's gonna, give me a little something. Water my plant a little bit. Water my flower a little bit. Because it's a choice. Everything is a choice. It is a choice to stay sad. Of course, our emotions are our emotions. We'll talk about choices another day, but it's a choice to stay sad. And some people get joy in being sad because of the attention that sadness brings. But we gotta just become a little bit more emotionally intelligent and just really understand what we bring to a situation, because suffering is necessary and we're gonna go through it. But how do we not become a dark cloud on everyone around us even though we're suffering? And also in your suffering, do you have a support system? Do you have somebody that you can talk to about absolutely anything? Do they have anything to contribute, or are they just going to respond back and be like, damn, that's fucked up? Can they contribute to what you got going on in any way? Can they encourage you? Because sometimes that's all it takes is a little encouragement. Can they encourage you? Can they pray for you? Can they pray for you and be genuine about it? Do they have a relationship with God? Do they believe in anything? Your support system, you want them to have faith, because faith is our baseline. If you don't have faith in anything, then you kind of just in the world, like holding on to every situation that happens, and you're probably super emotional or super unemotional, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, make sure that you have a support system, because everyone has a situation going on. I'll also say, as a caveat from make sure you have a support system, make sure you're not leaning on one person without checking on that person, because some people have become listeners to the point where they don't even feel like expressing, because they're so used to listening. They're so used to being the person that people can lean on. They're so used to being the shoulder that people can lean on. Those shoulders, they need a shoulder too sometimes, y'all. Be that shoulder for somebody, because the strong people that they're probably the strong people in their life. They're probably the person that everybody that they know leans on. And then the question becomes, who do they lean on? So just be mindful of your support system. Be mindful of even the things that you're bringing to them. Be responsible with what you're dumping on your people as we suffer, as we go through these things. Make sure that you are holding on to what you have to be grateful for. Make sure that even if you gotta list it, write it out. I'm big on lists. I'm big on dry erase boards. I said I want to turn one of these walls into a dry erase board. But list it, write it out. Write down the things that you have to be grateful for, so that while you're in this suffering, you can wake up and that's the first thing you see, what I have to be grateful for. Of course, I got all this other stuff going on in my life, but what do I have to be grateful for? Because that's going to always give you a sense of, all right, everything ain't all bad, So our suffering is going to be there, but as our suffering is there, God is always there as well. And if we can hold on to that, and knowing that God is going to pull us through, and knowing that we are favored by God, we can always get through. So, of course, I got a little rendition, a little song, and I'm not going to always sing gospel songs, but I like to inspire, and I just pull out the ways that
I've been inspired.
But this song in particular, I remember I stood up in testimony service and sang this song after I got in a car accident, and my grandfather, for the rest of his life, asked me to sing this song. And in those times of suffering, find God, y'all. Lean into God, and lean into your support system, because that's what's gonna pull you through. I vow to praise you through the good and the bad. I'll praise you, whether happy or sad. And I'll praise you in all that I go through, because praise is what I do, 'cause I owe it all to you. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Praise is what I do when I want to be close to you. I lift my hands in praise. Praise is who I am. I'ma praise him while I can, and I'll bless him at all times. And I vow to the good and the bad, and I'll praise you, whether happy or sad, and I'll praise you in all that I go through, because praise is what I do, 'cause I owe it all to you. Yo, find a way to praise God. He's working it out. May not come when you want him, honey, but he gonna come on time. Even if he gotta come right on time. Even if, I was telling my friend yesterday, I know God gonna come on time, but I be trying to be proactive. You can't be proactive with God. No. God sees you trying to be proactive as you trying to run the show, and you don't run the show. You don't tell God what to do before. No, God already knows, and God is working it out. And I just want to be proactive. Let me put it in the calendar so I already know it's going to come through. No, it's going to come through. Keep your faith strong. Have faith like a baby. Have faith like a fool. Right now, I got faith like a fool. But I know it's going to work out. But that is me, Tori and Alexia. Make sure you share, like, subscribe. Tell your mom, tell your sister, tell your grandma, tell your friend, tell your boyfriend. Tell your godfather. Tell your daddy, honey. Everybody goes through something. Everybody goes through a struggle. I hope that this video touched somebody. I hope that you at least got a little something that you can hold on to, a little light that can brighten up your day, push you a little further on your journey, honey. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Peace. One love.
Positive in, negative out. That's what I'm all about. Positive in.